America is about to learn how good we actually used to have it.
Yes, exactly. And I've been saying this since, you know, when the inflation started. And because I'm in the Caribbean, I'm on American time, so I'm following American news, really, news cycles. And all I was hearing was that Americans were unhappy with Biden because of the economy. And I was laughing because I'm like, it's because of Biden you had the best economy in the world. You had it better than everybody else in the world, and you were all moaning because you had to pay a little tiny bit more for your gas. You're all complaining about Biden when actually he was delivering the best economy you'd had for a long time. But you all said, nah, we don't like these high prices. We don't like them. And we blame you, Mr. Biden. So funny because the whole world was looking at you going, are you crazy? And we're all telling you, are you crazy? In fact, I did say, why are you complaining about your economy? You have the best economy in the world. And I got ranted and raved at and, personal attacks and everything. And it was funny because I had to laugh because as soon as that man was elected, I was telling people you think things are bad now. I'm telling people it's going to get a lot worse. People are saying, who's going to come and save us? Maybe our politicians will come and save us. Chuck Schumer put his glasses on. Maybe the courts will save us. And then they say, here, Donald Trump, have all this immunity. And then there's people going, maybe Canada will save us. And the whole time I'm watching you and I'm saying, you just don't get it, do you? You don't get it. It's too funny. I hate finding it so funny because I know Americans and I know what's coming and I know it's going to be horrific. But at the same time, it's so hard because it is incredibly, I mean, objectively speaking, it's funny. You've got the guy who's in charge of defense who doesn't know how to defend his own mobile phone. You have a guy in charge of your FBI who wants to sell the building. You've got a guy in charge of your business who keeps getting contradicted by your president when he's on. You're making it hard for me to feel sorry for you. It's my point. If you keep making it funny, how are we going to have empathy? Okay, I'm going to get serious now and I'm going to give some advice. And I know it's not going to be accepted, but at least I'll have it documented so I can say I told you so. Like all the other times I told you so. Look back to 2019 and you'll see me, writing out exactly what's going to happen. I knew this was coming back in 2019 and I wrote about it and it's there. So I'm just putting this out there so I can say I told you so. It's going to get really shitty. It's going to get so bad. There's going to be food riots. You're going to be, you know, I don't know if you'll be reassessing the choice that you made to allow everybody to have guns. You may be reassessing that afterwards. But you see, I'm a silver lining type, and I'm looking at this in my silver linings, mindset, and I'm thinking, you know what? America was founded on a fake principle. It was founded on a platitude. The idea that all men were created equal. That sentence itself disproves itself. The fact that you've used the word men. Do you see? Your whole system was built on a foundation of something that was fake equality. Now, what I can see as a positive is that when you eventually get out from under this hideous terror that you've unleashed on yourselves, when you eventually get out of it, and by the way, little tip for you, the only way out is for you to rediscover what makes you essentially American. Because growing up in the UK, we always saw America and we had this idea of America. And the one thing we understood was that no matter what their differences, when it came to America, Americans stuck together. That was the one thing, the American patriotism. And that meant it doesn't matter who you are. If you're American, you're my brother, you're my compatriot. So that was the one thing we understood. Now, that's what you've lost. And the proof that you've lost that, the orange buffoon exists. His mere existence in the position that he's in proves that you have lost what inherently makes you American. You have to get back to the point where you look at each other and you don't see differences, you see American. Only by doing that will you regain the humanity that you've lost. And it's not about making video recordings of the ICE agents taking people away. It's about putting yourself between the ICE agents and their target and telling the ICE agents they've got to go through you, and then hoping that there's going to be 20 other people who are going to stand with you. Not waiting till somebody goes and does it, but being the person to put yourself in front of the other person to protect them. Because what you're doing in that instance is protecting yourself. Because, oh, and I also want to talk to the ICE agents. A lot of these ICE agents seem to be really enjoying their job. And I ask them, you do realise that you're, starting off the process of authoritarianism, and you're starting the reign of terror. You personally are starting the reign of terror. And if you've never heard of the reign of terror, you need to do some historical research, because every dictatorship, every authoritarian regime has a reign of terror. Usually it's about millions dying, that's all, just a few million usually die in the reign of terror. But the ICE agents who are currently going around gleefully grabbing people off the streets, you are responsible for beginning the reign of terror. So sleep well at night. And think about this. If one day you're told to go and grab someone who, God forbid, you know, and you know they're not a criminal, and you're told you have to grab them because they're a criminal, and you decide to say something against them, what's stopping them from grabbing you and dragging you off to a prison because you don't want to do your job? I'm pointing this out. So, America, the only way through is to realise you're not different, you're the same. You're Americans. Even if you don't like him, even if you don't like her, even if her colour or his colour or their colour is not to your liking, you have to understand that they're Americans, and you have to be able to put your life on the line to protect them, someone you don't like, because they're American. And what you're doing is you're protecting America. But I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if you've lost that innate thing. I think you have. And I think when you finally find that, it may take a generation, but when you come back, when you rewrite your constitution, maybe start off with all people are equal,